Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Carlos here. Today I'm going to be bringing to you guys a budget Salamangreat deck profile. So without further ado, let's get into it. So to start off, I run 3 Salamangreat Gazelle. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but just in case you don't know how Salamangreats work, I'll try explaining every card to you. Salamangreat Gazelle, when it's normal summoned, or when a Salamangreat card is sent to the graveyard, you can, except Gazelle, you can normal summon this, or special summon this card from your hand, and when this card is normal summon or special summon, you can pitch one Salamangreat card from your deck to your graveyard. And it's very important because this deck is very, very, very graveyard reliant. So Salamangreat Gazelle is basically your starter, so it's definitely a 3 of. Would not change that at all. So 3 Salamangreat Gazelles, and that's the way to go. Next, I run 3 Salamangreat Spinnies. 1, 2, 3. I like Spinny because Spinny resurrects itself from the graveyard. It's very good to go into your rank 3 combos. It's basically this with Gazelle gets you a board with at least 1 trap set and just about the strongest board a Salamangreat deck can make. In my opinion, I wouldn't go any lower than 2. But 3 is the way to go, just because I like the versatility of it to special summon itself from the graveyard, and I just like the fact that, it extends your plays. Next, I am going to go 3 Salamangreat Foxies. Foxy's super important in this deck. When it's normal summon, you excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and you get to add 1 Salamangreat card from your deck to your hand. 1 of the 3. It's just super important for digging deeper in your deck. Like I said, this is a budget build, so we don't run any of the super expensive searcher cards like Signet Mining or anything like that. So Foxy's kind of like a replacement, although it's not really. It's just really good for searching your pieces, your combo pieces like Spinny or Gazelle. I then run 1 Salamangreat Falco. Falco is good because when it's sent to the graveyard, you get to add a Salamangreat, or you get to set a Salamangreat spell or trap from your graveyard to the spell and trap card zones. So that's super awesome. It's just basically, free resources, so that's definitely a 1 of. I wouldn't go more than 1. At 1, it becomes a little cloggy, especially because it really has no way to special summon itself. So 1 is the way to go for me. I then run 2 Fowls, Salamangreat Fowl. I see people not run this card at 2, or I see most people run it at 1, and some people not even run it at all. I just like it because of the versatility. First of all, it lets you go into the rank 4 engine. There's some really good rank 4 cards you can go into, so that's pretty much the primary reason to run it. You can also link off to one of your Salamangreat monsters if you don't have the Gazelle, so it's just a really good extender. It lets itself be special summoned when a Salamangreat card is normal or special summoned. So, pretty self-explanatory there. Jack Jaguar is a 1 of. Jack Jaguar is super good because it lets itself resurrect from the graveyard to a zone a link monster is pointing to. And this is a once per turn effect. It's also super important because when it does that, it shuffles 1 of your cards, your Salamangreat cards, back to your deck. Ideally, you want to target the extra deck cards and shuffle them back into the extra deck, because you could, that way you get to reuse the resources. If you don't have an extra deck monster in your graveyard, ideally you want to shuffle, I don't know, maybe Gazelle if you don't have access to get it back from the graveyard. But this deck is super, it's all about reusing resources, so most of the time it's the extra deck monsters you want to shuffle back with this. But super good, it's a special summon, and then if you special summon this card to a zone that a Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf points to, you actually get to trigger the effect of Sunlight Wolf and search one of your fire monsters and add it to your hand, so super good there. Then for the non-Salamangreat cards, I run triple Salamangreat. I run triple Flame Buffalo. Flame Buffalo pretty much should be a Salamangreat card, even though it's not. It fits all the requirements. It's level 3, it's fire, it's Cyberse, so that's one reason to play it alone. Secondly, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can discard one Cybers card, which just about all the deck is, except the hand traps. You can discard one Cybers card to draw 2 cards, so it's a pot of greed for the deck, basically. It's ridiculously good. So I see some people not run this card at all. I'm inclined to think at least 2, just because it's really good for drawing and getting to your hand traps or getting to your combo pieces. You could not run it, but since this is a budget build, I feel like this is a really good extender to run, so I run it at 3. Also should be noted that since it's a level 3 Cybers monster, you can actually link this off into Salamangreat Bay Links and start your plays that way. So super good. Triple buffer low. I then run double Crusadia Reclusia. Crusadia Reclusia is a extremely good card. It special summons itself to a zone a link monster you control points to, and then you can pop it to pop one of your opponent's monsters. Ideally, that is not what you're going to use it for. Ideally, you're going to use it to go into a rank 3 play to extend your plays. So that's the ideal, but it also provides some versatility because it pops one of your opponent's cards if you really need it. So double Crusadia Reclusia, an extender. Now we're going to go into the hand traps. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring is ran at triple. If I can find the third one, there it is. Triple. Ash Blossom is probably the best hand trap in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's super versatile. I don't really know what else to say. It was super expensive a little while ago, but if you're going to be buying the Salamangreat cards, this actually comes in the structure deck already, so you'll have 3 copies of it if you buy 3 of the structure decks. If not, if you want to, wait for a rarity bump, Dual Devastator's actually coming out pretty soon, and they're getting alternate art forms of all the hand traps, so you could buy 3 of those and pick up a playset of Ash Blossom, but definitely triple Ash Blossom. The cool thing about Ash Blossom too is since it's a fire monster, you can actually add it back to your hand with Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, so that should be noted. A lot of people don't realize that, but that's one use for it. I then run triple Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is a super good card. It gets rid of pesky, effect monsters effects, so that your opponent can't go off on their turn. Ideally, you would want infinite impermanence here, but like I said, this is a budget build, so you can't really afford impermanence because it's like $50 right now. But Ash Blossom is probably the second best thing. Definitely really good. I would say if you have the money, definitely invest in infinite impermanence because it's super good. I then run one Lady Debug. Lady Debug's basically a Stratos for the deck. It was at 3, but in the recent ban list it got limited to 1. So you can search pretty much any Salamangreat card with this. Ideally you want to search Gazelle, but if you don't have Gazelle, or if you already have Gazelle in your hand, I guess you could search something else, but at that point I wouldn't waste the normal summon. I would waste the normal summon on a Salamangreat card, but definitely really good to search your deck for a card you don't have or a potential combo piece. Then for the spicy tech, I run 2 Gamma Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. Gamma Seal is super important to get rid of extremely large boards your opponent makes. I'm thinking Thunder Dragons, Danger Thunder Dragons. Just some of the boards they make are ridiculous. You have negates, you have monsters that can't be targeted, so this just helps get rid of some of those. Ideally, here, you would probably get rid of the 2 Gamma Seals and run 3 Fantastical Dragon Phantasmes, or Thanos Dragon. This is a budget build, and there's no way I'm paying $300 for a play set of cards, so Gamma Seal is the way to go. Super versatile, can, get it, just get rid of your opponent's pesky monsters. Something I do like to do at Gamma Seal, I like to tribute my opponent's monsters with Gamma Seal. And then I like to spin Gamma Seal back to my hand with Salamangreat Mirage Stalio. And then that way I'll have Gamma Seal again so I can keep tributing they're monsters. I know it's kind of cheese, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. So definitely Gameciel, pretty good card in this deck. That is it for the monsters, the main deck monsters. Now we're going to be running to the spells. Triple Salamangreat Circle. Salamangreat Circle lets you add a Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand. It also has a secondary effect that one of your Salamangreat monsters that was link summoned using itself can't be targeted by, monsters effect. But you're not really using it for that. You're basically using it as a rota for the deck. Searches all your Salamangreat monsters. Ideally, you would want to add Gazelle if you don't have Gazelle. But if you already have Gazelle, a good target would be Spinny, so you can go off into your full combos. I'll show an example of the combo at the end of the video, but I definitely think triple circle is the way to go. Then I run, for the rest of the Salamangreat spells, I run one Will of the Salamangreat. I see a lot of people who don't run Will of the Salamangreat. I just think it's such a great card. I think you get so much pluses. You get so many pluses off of it that it's worth running. Basically what it lets you do is it lets you special summon a Salamangreat monster from your graveyard once per turn. Most of the time your opponents aren't focused on getting rid of this card. They're focused on getting rid of the set's trap cards, so that they, this basically becomes, you can go all out and just keep bringing your Salamangreat monsters back. So I definitely run one of in the deck. You're going to get it off at least once. Your opponent might get rid of it, and most of the time they don't, so you can get this off multiple times. I then run one Salamangreat Sanctuary. Salamangreat Sanctuary is super important for the deck. It's the heart and soul, basically. It lets you reincarnation link your link monsters. I wouldn't ever run anything more than one. At 2 or even 3, it gets too cloggy. 1, because Balinks can search it, and you never want to see this in your opening hand. It's such a dead card. But so amazing for the strategy. I'm then looking at one Fusion of Fire. I see a lot of people who don't run Fusion of Fire, but I just personally think it's such an amazing card. It enables the OTK with Violet Chimera, and it's just amazing. It's so good in the mirror match, because you can use your opponent's you can basically use your opponent's whole board to bring out Violet Chimera and go for the OTK. Even if you're not going in the mirror match, you can use your opponent's link monsters, which just becomes immensely invaluable. You're getting so much pluses off just one card. I think it's worth running at one. You could not run this. You could run Super Poly, but I really like Fusion of Fire. You can also pitch it with Gazelle, so I really like that. For the non-Salamangreat trap cards, I run 3. Twin Twister, just to get rid of pesky spell cards. 1 Monster Reborn. It's an extender. We finally got this unbanned, so you might as well run 1. I also run 1 Pot of Desires. I wouldn't run 2, and I would be very careful with how you use this. I typically like to use Pot of Desires after I go through my whole combo, and then I can activate Desires to draw 2 cards, because you really don't want to be banishing any of your important pieces. If you banish triple Gazelle, that's it. You're losing the match. If you banish Sanctuary, you're gonna have a hard time winning the match. If you banish the spell and trap cards, the Salamangreat trap cards, it sucks. Although I run a lot of the trap cards in the deck, so that's not really a problem for me, but I know most people only run 1 and 1, so that could be a real problem. So just make sure you go through your whole play before you add Desires. You could run 2. I just run the 1 of, just for more consistency. Then for the trap cards, I run 1 Salamangreat Rage. It lets you pop your cards up onto the link rating of a Salamangreat link monster you control. It's just super good. At most, you're looking at 3 pops, and that's just super valuable. That's +2 on you automatically, so that's just really good. I also run, I know this is controversial, I run triple Salamangreat Roar. Why do I run 3? I just like the ability to stun my opponent and just take complete take a dominant position in the board and just make sure I have control. I don't like to open multiple of these, but it's not terrible if you have the right cards in your hand to work past it. But ideally you open one. Ideally you would run not even 2 of these or 3 of these. You would run 2 at most. But since this is a budget build and I couldn't afford anything else, I decided to just go with that. Triple. Now for the extra deck, real quick. 3 Baylinks. Baylinks protects your monsters while it's in the graveyard. You can banish yourself to protect your monsters, and it searches the Salamangreat Sanctuary, so super good. Super important to the deck. I find 3 is super useful. I see some people run 2, but I see so many situations where I come up where I need the 3rd Baylinks. So for me, 3 is the way to go. 3 Sunlight Wolves. Just amazing card. It lets you add a Salamangreat spell and trap card back to your hand once per turn if it was reincarnation linked. If a monster is special or summoned to a zone it points to, you can add 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand, or from your graveyard to your hand. It's super important. The super important thing to note is that you can actually, since it says fire, you can add back Ash Blossom, Crusadia, Reclusia, or even Flame Buffalo. Most of the time you want to add back Gazelle, but if you need an Ash, I guess you need an Ash. I run 2 Heat Leos. It bounces your opponent's spell and traps, and it can make your opponent's monsters attack lower. So 2, definitely the way to go. I wouldn't say 3. 3 gets a little cloggy, and I just like having the extra deck space. So 2 is the way to go. 1 Nightmare Phoenix gets rid of spell and traps. Just amazing card. 1 Borreload Dragon steals your opponent's monster and negates effects. Just amazing. Was super expensive. It dropped down to $8 now, so you can pick one up for $8. It's actually getting reprinted in the Revolver Structure deck as a common, so you can get that. And finally, for the links, I run 1 Hita, the Fire Charmer. It's super good in the mirror match. You can steal your opponent's Salamangreat monsters and, combo off with their own pieces. That's always a good feeling, stealing your opponent's monsters. So, 1 Hita. In terms of the XYZs, I run 2 Salamangreat Mirage Stalios. Mirage Stalio, basically, it when it's sent to the graveyard for the link summon of a Salamangreat monster, you can send one of your opponent's monsters back to the hand. Super versatile. You mostly want to send extra deck monsters back. It also, you can detach a material to special summon a Salamangreat monster from your deck to the field once per turn. So obviously extend your plays. Just super good card all around. I run 1 Baguska. Ideally, this would be a Abyss Dweller, but I don't have Abyss Dweller yet, so Baguska is a good going second card. And finally, 1 Violent Chimera for the OTKs. Really quick, a really good play to start off with is having 1 Gazelle in your hand and 1 Spinny. Normal summon Spinny, send it to the graveyard. Baylinks chain with the Gazelle. Gazelle, you pitch one of the trap cards. Some people like to go Rage. Most of the time I like to go Roar. Reincarnation links, or special summon Spinny. Overlay. Go into Mirage Stalio. Detach Gazelle. Detach Gazelle to go into, to bring out Jack Jaguar. Link off the Jack Jaguar and this, so you can get Heat Leo. Here's Jack Jaguar, Heat Leo. So now you're looking at a Heat Leo, which you can reincarnation link using the Sanctuary. And now you can set the Roar, so you're looking at, off of 2 cards, you're looking at multiple pluses. You have the Sanctuary here. You have the Sunlight Wolf. and then you can special summon Jack Jaguar. You can get back a Gazelle because of Sunlight Wolf effect, and you can just pop off from there. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and like and subscribe